Om Shanti everyone, this is Ala again. Today I wanted to share you something that very important, something that I was searching for years to understand. And this video, this session, just to share that understanding of our the cosmos creation. How created cosmos, who created it, and what's the process is. This is quite big knowledge, and it takes a lot of time to study it and understand. And in this video, I will try to jam it and make it really as short as possible. So it's more like a skeleton structure of sort of ABC, how I think it was created. The knowledge I got and understanding I got from a different sources, read a lot of different books. If you're interested, write me in comments and I will let you know what was what I used to get this understanding. So first one, cosmos. It's infinity. We don't know when it's ends, when it starts. It's hard to imagine the size of it. And a lot of people, everyone, I think, was trying to figure that out. What it is, what's behind it. Is that an end to it? So I think it's just that infinity of it that makes us try to search and see, and that's why we have a lot of old books like Rig Vedas, the Laws of Manu, and other Vedas, other books that and scriptures that would talk about that. So people were thinking that there must be something in that infinity that would, the consciousness that would always be there. It doesn't have a body, it doesn't have a shape, doesn't have any qualities. It's just conscious. It's like unmeasurable consciousness, and that never died and never borns, because it doesn't possess any qualities, any shapes or form. Only those who do possess those will be born and will die as a result. But that consciousness, great consciousness, will always be there. And I think that that consciousness was sort of started to think, I need to create. It's time to create. And with the will, started to create. So the creation and what we have now, some cultures, some religions call it breathing of Brahma. So when Brahma breathes out, that consciousness breathes out, we have that big boom and everything starts to grow and develop. When Brahma goes to rest, he inhales and everything sort of gets in and die for a while. And the process takes aeons of years, and it's really hard to imagine how much time it takes to create the universe. The day of Brahma, called Manvantara, it's when Brahma starts to sort of like use will to start the creation of everything that we can see. And then when the day of Parabrahma is sort of done and finished, then Pralaya, which is a night of Brahma, starts. So those days and nights create a year and centuries and so on. It's a process that really hard to even understand because it takes so many years that we don't have so many years, I think, to sort of understand. But the process is the same as what we have here. We have day and night, we have 4 seasons, we have years, and then we are born and then we die. So this is the same system that works for the whole entire cosmos. And the firstborn, I call it Logos because I kind of like the name, but I think Purusha is another one. It's the spirit that sort of we all possess, that gives us that spirit, gives to our matter ability to be alive. So that Logos is the firstborn, right? So was created by will and started to have a sort of form or shape. It's like a layer of light that suddenly appeared and started to grow, and it's very spiritual sort of being, very smart and I guess knowledgeable, you have to say, because then Logos starts to sort of develop a plan how the whole cosmos should be. And again, with his will, he does those like sends those impulses, whirlwinds, if you wish, to start the creation. But he is not really a creator. He is more like architector who sort of develops a plan, and then what he does, he sort of wakes up those creators who will start the work on that plan and will start developing those different matters and create the whole cosmos. Those creators, they are spirits, and they used to be people in their different sort of lives previously, but they grew into gods. They sort of went up in their development to the point that now they're created. They're the seeds that the seedlings, that used to start the whole cosmos to grow. And it takes, again, a lot of time, but they know what to do. It's a plan, and it's need to develop by the plan. It's almost like a play, if you wish. And those spirits will start develop everything that we can see or feel. But before that, the Logos, it's the sound, it's Om, it's vibration. When it started, then everything else starts to move around and starts sort of rotating and creating another godly creatures who sort of will start that hierarchy, godly hierarchy, that will take a part in creating our universe in from above down to our lower layer of cosmos, where the physical matter is what we can see. So when they started to work, it's like a team. Okay, now we have logos, we have those spirits, so wisdom, those creators who are working on creating the universe. How, with what? With what are they building it with? I think from my understanding the matter, it's Mula Prakriti, they call it. It's like a root from which the matter, whole fabric is started. And Prakriti is the nature who creates, a living beings. So when Mula Prakriti, that root develops, and everything, and that they use it, those spirits use that to create everything that we see, to create cosmos, planets, systems, and galaxies. So how does it start? Definitely it has its own sort of steps, right? So so four hearts, they call them. They are the creators, and then they create layers with that fabric. So it would be a layer of spirit. It would be the purest energies, the purest spirits, wisdom of godly sort of knowledge. And then it's the next layer is the bliss, where our intuition, that's what intuition, I think, is. And then after that, they create a world of fire and thought. So that our thoughts, they actually they have their own layer, that not just our thought, but it's like it's the place for the thoughts to be developed, because then they become more sort of like thicken, like a fabric, and then those thoughts will become a reality when they get sort of condensed, kind of and thicker. And then after that, it will be a world of feelings and emotions, and our wishes. And only after that, the seventh layer, it will be the dense, kind of thick, solid world of what we can see or touch. And that's where we are. So this is very materialistic sort of layer of cosmos. It's a seventh layer. And this is how that spirit matter sort of gets from almost nothing. It's like not even a light, goes down and thickens down to get to something very solid that we can touch and see and analyze. So that's, I think, how the whole creation comes. But it's sort of, I simplified as much as I can, something beautiful, something very spiritual, something godly that we don't even have words to describe, because we don't use them. We don't know that. our thoughts are, related to what's going on in our life, and we are not even thinking in those terms. And that's why I have a hard time sort of simplifying and explaining what it is. So when like the atoms, for example, atoms get sort of the gradation of it. So they go into clusters, and then they go into sort of molecules, forms, and then it goes and starts to be aether, and then fire, and then different types of gas, and then air, and water, and then liquids, and then it goes into the solid sort of earth, solid matter. So this is how atoms, from top to bottom, how they come in and form the planet. So how planets form. Rerich said really beautifully, he said, when the housewife makes butter from milk, then she already knows then she knows how the universe created, technically, because that's when that whirl started, and it goes around and spiral and spins and spins, and gets thicker and thicker, and it's in an oval form first, and then it's kind of goes and start to be a round object, and it's more like it's not even planet yet, but it's almost. But it starts with being a comet who just takes off when it's almost ready, and just with a huge speed goes, pierce that cosmos, looking for a place to settle, looking where the home will be. And when it does find that particular sort of place, it slows down. If it's not gonna be traveling with a huge speed, different objects, different planet that already formed and more advanced, older, they may sort of by gravity, I guess, take the comet. A comet can die. They will just swallow it. So that's why that huge speed needed when comet travel, kind of looking for that place, that those big objects in cosmos not too close, so the planet can start forming. So when it does, the tail of it is sort of vanishes, and young planet in a harsh environment, but still trying to sort of find a place, find the speed, and find sort of the condition that for that particular planet is most acceptable. And that's how our stars created, that's how our sun was created, and everything else on the planet. So in our system, every planet and our sun, they consider to be a family, and from one mother, and they are brothers and sisters. That's how it's written in all scripts. So it's a family. So, and that's how they became sort of a system. It's just a live object, and they are the house for godly creatures. Every planet is alive, and it's almost like it's the house for them. And those hierarchs, the higher spirit, they are in charge of that planet. They are making sure that the progress on this planet, it goes according with the plan of Logos. So everything, the way of development, process of development of everyone and everything on the planet, they're responsible for it. So we do have Earth and we do have a spirit. I don't know its name yet. I haven't found. Maybe I will find one day. But we do have someone who is on a planet, making sure that everything goes as planned. And then after that, the Logos will send another wave, which it's almost it's like a Purusha, they call it, that that gave us his body to sort of that we would be alive. So I think my understanding anyhow, it's that the firstborn, the son, will give us a little bit of sort of his energy, his the part of him, spirit, that will be within us. And that's how our body, our physical body, becomes alive and will be alive and will be able to function and sort of analyze and learn until that spirit is within our body. And the system works the same. Again, as I said, the person is born and the spirit gets in, and we are the house for that godly spirit. And we are here many times. We are die and reborn, so we can collect as much experience, as much knowledge, learn as much as we can about the conditions that here on the planet, because we will be the seeds and the seedling when we are done here. We next time around, maybe not next time around, but it's a long process of development, but we will get to create one day, and we will be those smart dudes up in the sky who actually create and take part in the creation. But right now, here on the planet, we just started, and we need to come through that evolution to become more godly spirits. And again, that evolution comes, as we know, from to be an element of the cosmos. And then when we come here, then we are starting to be a part of the minerals. And then we go from the minerals, we go to the vegetable kingdoms, and then we go to animal kingdom, and then we go to be a human being. And then it's not final. It's not final as a lot of us think. Then we sort of go up in a level of being godlike sort of spirits, and then we grow from there. But it takes a lot of reborns. It takes a lot of sort of time for us to come here and experience all this and sort of polish our diamond, that we would be able to do more complicated job in creation of the universe. And this is how I think the process goes. It's probably in the future we'll try to sort of break it down into step by step sort of, and talk about each step in more details. I will talk about sort of life of planets. We'll talk about moon, and we'll talk about Earth, just to show you the history and what happened and what relation in between those two are right now. And again, I wish you all the best. If you have questions, write them down, ask me. It will give me some thoughts for the future videos. And until then, be good to each other, be good to yourself, have a good mood all the time, and until next time, Om Shanti.